You know what I'm saying? Get yourself right.
Hey y'all, this is Star. I am the owner of Unravel Organics, and you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Our name is Unravel Organics, and our website is www.lunarravenorganics.com.
Volume 2. Yeah. This is our show. Yeah. Introspective inside. Introspective inside. Peace, love, and all that good stuff. I am King Dev, and this is Introspective Insight, the Black Wall Street podcast. And we got, I don't even know, do you have a name? My bad. Do you have a name? Stage name? Did you think about a stage name?
No.
You ain't think about no stage name?
No, I feel like my name is good enough.
Your name or my name I gave you?
We can use yours. We can use
Puffy?
Yours.
Yeah, we got Puffy on the show today. Before we get into the topic of the day, we have to get into the word of the show and the quote of the show. The word of the show is esperance. Esperance. And that is the feeling that what is wanted can be had, or that events will turn out for the best. And I'm going to say it again, esperance. That feeling, or the feeling that what is wanted can be had, or that events will turn out for the best. You got any commentary on that? I seen that word and I was like, yeah, that's a perfect word for the topic for today. In my opinion, because I'm biased.
Very biased, but no, I like definition.
You like definition? It didn't hit you nowhere? Hater. Okay, so the quote of the show is, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. What about that one? It's not giving you nothing? I seen hater in your face too. That's what I'm talking about. See, because both
today
of those,
I'm a hater first. I'm a hater first.
I guess. But like those two words in particular goes directly into what we're talking about, which is, in a sense, layers of support. What support looks like from family, friends, you know, as entrepreneurs, creators, or anything like that. You know, how should we expect support to look, or how we think support should look, and what should we expect from our family, friends, and then the rest of the world, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I chose the word of the show, esperance, because for me, I think as long as you know things are going to turn out for the best, and you have that type of mindset, in terms of support, it don't matter. It don't necessarily matter, at least in my opinion, how and what support looks like. It's just a matter of the support that is being given. And then, I mean, if you don't support me, it ain't gonna kill me. So I'm stronger.
I mean, you could be strong too, and you could still want support.
Yeah, but wanting support in a specific way can be, in a sense, for lack of better words, toxic. Because then you introduce feelings into a dynamic to where the dynamic doesn't change in terms of the pre-existing dynamic, which is the friendship, right? The friendship doesn't change if I didn't have this thing that I'm doing, whether it's, you know, I'm a creator, I'm a YouTube creator, whatever the case. It doesn't change either way.
That's true, but just because, and it's not even like I want you to support me a certain kind of way. I just feel like support is support. Like you said, it comes in different, like people can support you in multiple different ways. And so as long as you support, that's all that matters.
That, and also just like we live in the realm of, you know, needing the support of the people that is closest to us, but also needing the support of, you know, the whole entire world, or at least what I say, 10% of the world's population. Because if I get the support of 10% of the world's population, I'm good forever, rich forever, like Rick Ross. When we talk about support, it's really just examining one, because it's Introspective Insight, the Black Wall Street podcast. So we got to make sure that when we're talking about support, we're kind of applying it to the diaspora, the black community and everything, black people in general, and we don't know how to support each other. We tend
No.
to be overly critical on what that support looks like, or we ask for handouts, right? We ask for discounts and specials and give me 2 for 1, or I'm gonna pay you back later. We asked for a firm before a firm was even existed. So, but then when we go to like Walmart or we go to, you know, white businesses or businesses of other races, we tend to just go in and spend the money willingly, and then that's it. So as we kind of layer what support looks like, right? My overarching, welcome to the show, everybody. We just got right into it. But my overarching idea of support is more so I need to get the support of the people who I don't know, because then the support of the people that I do know will come naturally. We overanalyze what. Okay, let me give an example, because I think
Yeah, because I already disagree.
Oh yeah, I seen you shake your head. If I got somebody from LA to buy into, and I'm just using LA, it can be Houston, it can be Dallas, it can be wherever, right? It can be London for all I care. It can be a small town outside of London. I don't care. But if I had somebody who genuinely like didn't know me, obviously because I'm not in none of those places, but they love the content that I put out, or they love the product that I'm selling, or they love the service that I provide that they can get over all the way over to where they are. They are engaging it because they love the brand. They love what I'm doing. It don't matter it don't matter the relationship they have with me. Maybe they want to be friends with me or whatever, but the reason why they're supporting is not because they know me. The reason why they're supporting is because they like the story behind the brand. They like the story behind the product or the service, and they love what they're getting from it, how they feel. So when we start to separate that as entrepreneurs or creators or whatever, from when our, you know, parents or our friends or family is supporting us, and we just want them to blindly support us because they're just close to us, I don't feel like that gives us a personal satisfaction, but that doesn't necessarily say that our business will be better off if they hit that share button. Just like our business doesn't necessarily affect our business when they like our post, because they like our post, but they just don't go, and as I've learned in this space, they don't go all out and beyond to really like be like, oh yeah, go to dev and da 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 and this, that, and the third. Like, they don't do that. But for me, it's like, I mean, I'm cool as long as we communicate and you support me, and I know that you support me in whatever way it is that you support me, then I'm good, because I know it will come full circle if you really for me.
I feel like if you're really for me, you're gonna support me. You're gonna be that person that like shares my posts, likes my posts. You don't even have to buy my stuff. And I feel like something I learned having a business is a lot of people closer to you won't support you until they see the vision that you have. They'll see it as like like okay. And I've experienced that. I've seen a lot of people, and I've experienced a lot of people who they didn't buy my products at first. They didn't buy it for the first couple of years, and then now they see that I'm
successful.
Yeah, like I'm having months where I sell out and I'm doubling my goals, and then it's just like, oh, like go support Star, and it's just like I don't the support cool down, but I don't really care for it. I can live without it.
Right. 100%.
No, I'm talking about now.
No,
because you didn't support me at first.
Right, but
so now that you want to support me, because you see I'm out here, I don't want it.
Okay, absolutely, 100%. I agree with you, because I at no point did I say you have to accept the support once you win it, and I don't have to. What's understood doesn't have to be spoken, right? So when if I have to tell you to support me, then I know that you don't support me from jump. Like, that's just what my mindset is. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Did them not supporting you hinder your success?
No.
Exactly. That's why it's like, why would I stress myself out and use energy that I could be putting into the business? Like, for example, you tell me all the time how it took you like months and years, well, really months, to like really figure out and crack the code on TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would you take half of that energy and dedicate it to, and I'm not saying you in particular, but just people who's listening out there, why would you take half of that energy that you dedicated to figuring out the TikTok algorithm or the YouTube algorithm or AdSense on Google or whatever the case, or producing podcasts to figure out, or in a sense, be like, yo, why you not supporting me? Like we was cool or da 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 da. Like I feel like we have to, especially as I listen to like health podcasts and read books, we have to really preserve our mental capacity from day to day, so we have the capacity to make the decisions that we need throughout the day. And which is why people will be like, oh, when you get up, don't immediately go and check like the news, because if you see, oh, such and such got shot, that drains you before you even start your day. So when I say I don't care about the support in the beginning, or I don't care about the support, it's because if you genuinely supported me in what I do, in spite of whatever it is that you got going on, you would have did it without even thinking about it. Like
That's true.
I literally, when we did the other pod episode with Cam, shout out to Cam, I told you to bring, you ain't even know, I told you to bring a bottle of oil, and I gave it to my mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a bottle of oil for my mom. I'm always thinking about other people. So it's like, oh shoot, oh, you doing that? Oh, it's successful. Oh, you got 77K. Well, I don't know if you had 77K.
I do.
On
77.7.
I mean, when you gave me the bottle, you probably had like 40K, and then you got 77 in the last couple months, because you be popping like that. But if I support you, I support you. But that's also like my mantra. Like, if you are a Black-owned business, if you are Black, I support you.
But see, you see it differently. Like, okay, for example, if that's like your partner not supporting you, I feel like the people, okay, I don't really care about associates or whoever not supporting me. I feel like it's more important when it's somebody super close to me. So like, if you're in my space, I'm talking to you every day, and you're not supporting me in any way, that's not weird. Like, why should I? And if you're not supporting me, it's like, why? And then it should just be second nature to be like, okay, like this person around me all the time, like I really want to support them. Like,
I think
that's just how I see it. It's kind of like a partner. If you have a vision and you want to do something and your partner just not supporting you, like, it's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to sting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what it is. And it's like, yeah, I can be successful without you, but I would rather be successful and have you behind me.
Everybody not. So just like how you said, that's like how I'm built
That's why you change the people around you.
Yeah, I think everybody not built that way, because I also believe that people don't want to cheer you on because they don't want to see you succeed before they succeed. So like, even when we going on, or like, because I've done this before, I don't hate, but I just be thinking like, dang, I work hard, but there's no way I can afford to go on that many vacations. But I be seeing random people, regular people, going on vacations every other month. And I mean like extravagant vacations. You know what I'm saying? Like Maldives, Dubai, Africa.
Yeah, I don't even see that as hate. I see it as like, wow, like, I want to be there. There's other businesses I see on TikTok who we pretty much do kind of the same thing. And I've seen them do 6-figure months. They already made a meal. And I'd be like, dang, like, it's more so not like oh, I'm mad that they're doing this, but it's like okay, what can I do to get there too?
Right.
That's how I see it.
Right. And it's also like, well, am I not managing my money right? Like, can I figure out a way? Because a lot of times what happens is with those type of people, regular people that go on vacations all the time, they just be hitting up travel agents to be paying, $100 a month, $200 a month until they trip coming in, they go on a trip. So, yeah, in terms of the support and people close to you, I think my biggest thing is like, I give people the space to like kind of grow into that support, because a lot of times we're not taught. Well, one, we're not taught to see ourselves successful. That's number one, right? So like, we got money, but and I'm talking about the American Black community right now. We have money, but where does that money go to? Jordan Brand.
Mm.
I'm gonna wait in line to spend $350 on a pair of Jordans that released 10 years ago. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it's a retro release and they probably not gonna release this pair of shoes for another 10 years. So I want to be in on that.
Mm.
Now think about how many times a month our people do that. So then it's like, okay, well, we can support, but it's like, what do I get out of it? For sneakerheads, right? I'm getting a retro pair of shoes.
Mm.
For wannabe sneakerheads, I can say that I got this retro pair of Jordans. So basically what I'm saying is our priorities be all over the place. And so for me to then expect you to support me in a way that we haven't been taught to support each other is me setting you up for failure and setting our relationship up to possibly.
You giving too much grace. I think that's what it is. You giving too much grace.
You're giving too much grace.
Yeah.
How?
I feel like, I mean, we're very similar when it comes to support. So I can't really use you as an example, but it shouldn't be something I should have to ask you for.
I know what it shouldn't be, but what is the reality? Shouldn't is like intention, right? So you have intention, then you have intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
So I can have the intention to not hurt you. Well, my intention wasn't to hurt you. But what was the intentionality behind the actions that I was showcasing, right? It's two different things.
Okay, so for an example, I had somebody who wasn't supporting me, and I expressed that to them, and their reply was like, why didn't you tell me? Like I wasn't supporting you enough, or I wasn't supporting, or whatever the case. What would you reply to that?
Why didn't I tell them?
Mm-hmm. So like if it's like somebody close to you and basically you tell them like, like it hurt me a little bit that you're not really supporting me that much. And they say like, oh, wow, like my bad. Why you didn't tell me I wasn't supporting you?
Well,
like how do you answer that?
Well, my thought in my head is, well, that shows me that you genuinely don't support me. Like that's just what it is. So if you genuinely don't support me, and I've already like eclipsed what my initial ceiling was, and I've now risen my ceiling because like it went from me making nothing to me making this amount, then you genuinely didn't support me. So then it kind of goes back to the comment that you made earlier. Do you deserve to support me now? Do you deserve to reap the benefits of what I bring to the table now?
And that's another thing too. With me, with my business, it started off with me just getting a couple orders a month, and now I'm averaging like 1,000. And so now the people around me look a little different because I had to reevaluate who I have around me, who talks to me all the time, who knows what's in my pocket, who knows what trips I'm going on, because it's kind of like you didn't support me and I don't feel comfortable with you. So I don't feel comfortable telling you about my wins. You seen when I wasn't really winning. You saw when I was down. And so now that I'm in a position to where I'm winning, I don't want you around me. Right. I don't want you to know how I'm winning. I don't want you to see all the good that I'm doing behind the scenes, because it's like when I was trying to put you in that position to where you can see me where I'm at now, you didn't really care. You didn't really see my vision and just how this is what I envisioned that it would be. And it was just like, you didn't want to support me. So now you're not going to be around me.
And I think that's a larger conversation around who's really your friends and who you just keep around because you have a bond to them and whatever. Because we've talked about trauma bonds before. We've talked about people cling themselves to other people for a specific reason. Very rarely do you find somebody that's just genuinely, interested in being around you just to be around you. People got their own agendas and their own reasons as to why. So when we're talking about support, I think it's good to kind of lean into that as the people who want to be supported and to put people where they supposed to be, right? So maybe we're calling somebody a best friend that's not really a best friend, right? So it's like,
it's true.
And then we also have to understand that support looks different. Like if I have, I'm going to be super, super, super extreme right now. Just a disclaimer, everybody that's listening. So if I am anti-gay, right, and I have anti-gay rhetoric, and Cam, my best friend, is gay, why would I ask him to share my content on his page? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it doesn't, and he knows that. And okay, let me add another caveat to that comment, because why would he be my friend if he's gay or if I'm anti-gay, right? I'm only anti-gay because I've found a gold mine online to where people are paying me for my comments. Think about like Joe Rogan, right? He gets paid to just talk about conspiracy theories and things of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to add that caveat to it. So why would I have Kim, who is gay, proudly, maybe bi, he say pansexual, but that's a whole nother conversation. And he came out on this show too. If you didn't know, now you know. Why would I put the pressure on him to share what would possibly be hurtful information to the community that he is a part of?
I mean, I can understand that, but
And that's extreme. So
if it's not that extreme, like me, I just have hair care.
Mhm.
Everybody around me has hair. You even got hair.
Right. So, but
And
what
so-
if I to that point real quick? What if I know somebody else who I feel like I like their product better than yours?
You can use them both.
So you want me to pay your price and then go over and pay their price because you just want me to support you?
But okay, I mean, for one, I use multiple products. I have multiple products from different businesses. Some of them are the same thing, and I like them both.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can like them both, or you can tell somebody else about my stuff. That's why I'm like, support does come in different ways.
Yeah,
and so I think it's just more so. My main thing is when you're super close to me and you're not showing me any support, that's when it becomes a problem. It's not like there's multiple people who don't use my products, but they share, they tell people about it, they recommend me to people. Like, you know, it comes in different forms. But I just feel like when you're so close to me and you're somebody I talk to every single day, and I can't get you to like a post, share a post, buy a product, even recommend me to somebody, and you always say like, oh, you know, it just slipped my mind. I feel a kind of way.
So let me ask you this, and all the other people out here listening. How do you know they're not telling, like they're not promoting you word of mouth? Because you say you're not telling nobody about it. Because I was gonna ask, what if they're not active on social media? Because that's the other thing with me. Like if your follow base is not my target audience, that's another reason why I wouldn't ask you to share my posts, because
I don't ask anybody to share my posts.
Yeah. But I'm just saying I wouldn't emphasize that. So what if they are out telling people about your product? You're just not around to see it because you can't be everywhere.
I mean, they could be, but it'd probably be rare.
So is that you not showing up with a little bit of grace?
But okay. We're going to use an example.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use an example so you can kind of understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So just somebody close to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling supported. I wasn't feeling like they were supporting me. I wasn't feeling like, it's just kind of like, wow, like you really, like, is there, like, it kind of make you feel like, is there a problem? Like, do you not like it? Or like, what's the problem? But anyways, to this person I expressed, like, okay, I'm not feeling that support from you. Like, you know, I'm working on my communication, and I tell them like, I'm not feeling that support from you. And for them to be like, you know what? You're right. I could have done better. Sometimes I just procrastinate and I do this and I do that and I do this, I do that. But then they're on social media all the time, and you see them sharing other people's businesses. Mm-hmm. You see them, if they're in a relationship or whatever, you see them breaking their neck for the person they're in a relationship with. And there's somebody they are somebody that's super close to you. I mean, super close. And to you, it looks like you're choosing not to support me. So that's what I'm more so referring to. So If somebody that close to you, you consider them a best friend, a brother, a cousin, your first cousin, your cousin you always with, that's like a best friend, and you see them on social media and you see them supporting other people, you see them going above and beyond for the person that they're with, and then you, somebody they talk to every single day that they're super close with, they're not supporting you. It's just kind of like, okay, what are we getting at here? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I think it's still, so I 100% agree with what you're saying. And I think it's levels. Again, it's levels to support, but I also think that we need to learn how to create communities of support, like as people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's sometimes where just you, so to the other example that you had, it is a valid thing to say like, well, why you ain't tell me I wasn't supporting you, right? But I think it starts with, I feel like it starts with, you got to show interest first. Once you show interest, now we can engage in a conversation, because you can easily, because the other thing is people don't really know how to communicate, right? So if I bring up like, yo, you're not supporting me the way that I need you to support me, they'd be like, oh yes, I did this and I did. They start to list things off because now they're defensive. But in all actuality, I'm just saying like, listen, I just want you to support me in the way that you want to support me, without me having to tell you that I need you to support me. Like that's really where we're coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like I have too much, I have too much on my plate to be worrying about who's supporting me, who's not supporting me, because I know when I crack that $100,000 month, or that $200,000 month, or that $1,000,000 year, that money's not coming from my inner circle. That money is coming from somebody that I don't know. That money is coming from people who I don't know somewhere in the world, sharing and subscribing to whatever it is that I'm putting out into the world.
And
So,
that's true, but those people aren't people that's close to you. And I think that what
right.
I'm bringing it back to is the fact that, okay, say when I do reach a point where I make $1 million in a month, it's like, I want to celebrate with the people that's close to me. And if you're somebody who not supporting me, I'm not comfortable with that.
So, right. But that's also, that goes back to my point a little earlier, which was know where people stand, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe in ending a friendship over things like not supporting me or money or things of that nature, because that type stuff is like temporary. They come and go.
I agree.
And especially like, for example, if I'm looking for support for somebody who's dealing with depression, right? I'm asking you to be happy for me in a time that you're not even happy for yourself. So in terms of grace, leading with grace, we have to be mindful of the things that we don't know that's going on, and
Mm.
not consider the worst, but just consider maybe there's another story attached to why not. But the other piece, as we speak more broadly and generally, is we have to learn how to create um, like communities of, or how to create a support system explicitly, not implicitly, but explicitly, meaning the people who we are close to, we have really regular conversations around what support looks like, right? We show we lead with the support that we want, and then we follow up by giving the examples of how we support them in whatever it is that they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and saying like that's what we do for each other. For example, my studio. I run two studio spaces, one audio studio that we're in now, and then a production studio that's in the other building. I work with three people who are my business partners, my bros. I make sure that they know that it is us, it's not me, right? So I explicitly create a support system to where we can joke around about anything, we can joke with each other, and we can support each other work. And it's an open dialogue around the appreciation of each other. Like it's been times where Sean, Southtown Images, shout out, he helped me with a photo shoot. I'm a hybrid shooter, so I do photos and video, but video is first, right? I care to do photos, but the only reason why I was doing photos so I can see the manipulation of color and skin tone and stuff better. So he helped me with a shoot. It was a group shoot. He helped me set it up. You know, he brought his camera. He used his camera. He showed me how to light it so it looks immaculate, crazy, fire, right? And then when it came down to it, I was like, I learned more in this session about lighting and how to light like a group photo shoot. This is closer to. I've been shooting, so I've been doing like I did the first shoot with Brothers and Sisters Unisex Salon. Shout out to Dev. I did one before by myself, but then the second one, I'm like, yo, bro, you want to help me with the shoot? And he was like, yeah. So he showed me something that I didn't know. So I ended up giving him all the money from the shoot. I didn't make nothing. I gave him all the money. He was like, yeah, nah, bro, you ain't have to do that. I'm like, nah. Like, you showed me something that is worth more than what I made for this shoot. So here, take it. People don't understand how that is creating a support system to where it's like, I don't even care about the money that I lost because I ultimately booked that through my business and I gave you all of it. But it's like, nah, I learned something that's invaluable or that is so valuable that the tangible money that I got from this experience doesn't even matter anymore. And I want to show you that I appreciate the knowledge that you gave me because you've been doing this for years. So with my team, what I'm saying is I'm intentional in making sure that I show up with the amount of appreciation that I expect them to give back to me. So I think, and that's ultimately what forms those close friends. You know, those close people in my circle that I'm looking for support with because I'm showing you how to support me. And I also understand that I am the type of person I am comes 1 in a million, right? The type of person that you are comes 1 in a million. So we can expect for people that come 100 in a million or 999,000 in a million. We can't expect them to show up like how we would show up. So
That's true.
For me, as I like really define what support is, I define it in real time, almost like Rock Freedom Riders. I don't want to sit around a table and talk about how we can support Black businesses. Now we're gonna get on these bikes because one, we need to stay healthy because if we're not healthy, then we can't support nobody. And we're gonna go to these Black businesses and we're gonna solicit them. We're gonna go and buy from them right then and there. That is impact in real time. But I'm creating a system of support and I'm showing people how to do it and I'm not just talking about it.
Okay. I guess it also kind of, like when you describe it that way, I feel like it kind of, what's the word? It depends on the friendship too. Like just how you said, sometimes you might say somebody is the best friend of yours and they really not. It might have just been time to where y'all been close for so long, and so just because of that time you expect so much out of them, and at the same time it's kind of not fair, I guess. But that you got that.
And what I will say is sometimes we tag. So, and anybody who's listening, if we want to, I don't know, if we're interested in somebody, it could be romantically. It can just be somebody that has a lot of friends and we want to attach ourselves to them or whatever the case. We call them best friend. Excuse me. And I mean, we did this more in high school. I could tell you I did it. Or we call them brother or sister, right? We use these like
brother and sister
terms of endearment to get close to people. And I think brother and sister was more so like, I'm telling you that we're friends, but we're in the friend zone. We're going to stay there, at least for Black people. I don't know about what white people do. But we use terms of endearment to establish some type of bond with somebody. And we use the specific term of endearment establishes what type of bond we long for with that person. So obviously best friend is like the one right before or right under it will be relationship, right? And
I mean, not really.
I think so.
We're close friends.
Yeah, but I don't. But what I'm saying is, what do you want your like partner to be? Your best friend, the person that
Yeah,
knows
but best
you.
friends come in different
I know, just like
forms.
soulmates come in different forms, right? No pun intended. No pun intended. But soulmates come in different form. Like you can have a friend soulmate, right? Just like you can be intimate with somebody without it being sexual. Like we take these words and we only see it in one, but it's like you can have multiple best friends, but they're best friends for a specific reason, right? You can have multiple people that you like, but you like them for different reasons. You can have multiple people that you consider family, but you're considering them family for different reasons. So when I say what I just said, because I don't remember exactly what I just said, I'm saying that we use terms of endearment to establish a specific connection to a person without saying that connection. So if I call you my best friend when I know you're not my best friend, you're gonna only respond one way. Nah, you not my best friend. Or hey, bestie. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm because now I'm telling you without telling you that I want to be closer with you. So it doesn't even mean like I can call you my best friend and you don't necessarily be my best friend, but we can grow to the best friend because I've already opened that door and you've accepted it. Versus if you don't accept it, I might step back because you're not trying to be my best friend right now, or you got to process, right? So I think again, it's one of those things where how we see it, like our perspectives. Life is all about perspective, and as we talk about really knowing who's in your life for seasons, will ultimately identify who you should be overemphasizing, supporting you.
I think that's what I'm experiencing too. I'm experiencing like currently in my life, I'm going through a phase. I don't know if I would call it a phase or
Growing pains.
yeah, growing pains. I feel like I don't know. I feel like life is changing and things or people that I was super close with, I'm not anymore. It just a lot of stuff looks different for me now, and I don't know. I don't know how to describe that, but yeah.
I think you described it perfectly because there's no way to describe it. Like I think out of high school, especially in Rochester, and this is like a real tight knit community, and we pretty much know or come across people who, you know, or each other know, but not knowing that, you know, I'm cool with your friend's friend or your cousin or whatever. We were just talking about somebody that we both know that we know we wouldn't have known that we knew those person unless we were in the same, we talked about it, or we were all in the same, you know, vicinity or whatever. But as adults, I think, because I went through a best friend breakup too. And it was just because for me, I think, okay, and it was, you know what? Let's talk about it because that was connected to support. And I think part of that breakup was because that support wasn't coming and I was seeing the support going out to everybody else, like you said, and everybody else that wasn't around for the 10 plus years that was around, right? And this was the second time because before it, I don't want to say too much, but basically the breakup came and I made the decision was because there's no way that you continuously provide value and you eat from it. And then I get thrown in the closet and the door shut and I just keep on piling up dust, right? So I don't know why I just used that analogy, but just think about it, right? So every time you need something from me, you open the closet door, dust me off, say, yo, I need this. Give it to you willingly. And then you say, thank you, you shut the door back. And I hear you using the same information that I just gave you with everybody else. Nah, ain't happening that way.
I feel like it also goes into how people.
I like that analogy. That was a good one.
I think that also goes into how people see like they see a certain kind of value. Like, how can I describe it? Like how some friends or some people around you, when you get into a position to where it's kind of like, oh, you're doing amazing, you know, like you're doing really good financially, every type of way, it kind of intimidates them a little bit, if that makes sense. And so I've experienced that to where I was around somebody and it was just kind of like I was that friend who just always, like, I always needed help. Like, I always needed something. Not like in a begging way, but it was just kind of like, yeah, like, I know I can't go there because I can't afford that.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm in a position to where I can go somewhere and I can pay for everybody. And I, like, it kind of, that person, they kind of, like, that relationship changed because it was like I felt like they were so used to like me needing them helping me, and then now I don't need you. I don't need any help, and then it's just like, what does our friendship look like now?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how it always was, you know.
Yeah, and I don't even think that's a I mean, it doesn't have to be a breakup, but that's just a I'm reevaluating what this looks like because that's and maybe
Going through
that's
them
where
changes season.
I think that's where I am in terms of like I don't so like if we go through a breakup or whatever the case, I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, they're trash and they're this and they're that.
Mm-hmm.
I still like we were friends, like we were whether it's romantic with women or with my friends, whether it's men or women. No, we were cool. I wish you the best. I want you to all of the stuff that we did together. Like we taught each other. I taught you. You taught me, or whatever. I want you to use that to your advantage and win. It's just you can't be in my circle because when you were in my circle, you didn't do right by me, and I do right by everybody that comes across me. I don't care what it is. I do right by you. I do right by people that I don't even know. So it's like for you to play in my face and not do right by me explicitly and benefit from the things that I bring to the table, nah, you got to go.
That's exactly where it comes in with support. Someone who was super super close to me that wasn't supporting me, and I felt like it was just kind of like one of those things to where you could have supported me. Like, why do I have to tell you this? But I reevaluated the type of relationship we had, and they didn't fit in my close circle anymore. And so they realized they were on the outside of that circle, and they were just kind of like, you know, like, why don't I know that you're doing this, or why am I seeing this only on social media that you're doing that? Because we're not that close anymore. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, that's another thing too. Like, how do you have those conversations with people? Like, just trying to be an adult and be like, okay, this relationship is not the same, and this is how I want to move forward.
Well, that's a great segue. I think you was reading my notes over here. I think so. Before anything, so as we're talking about creating like healthy support systems, one of the biggest two things that comes to mind outside of the like really sharing appreciation is that quality time piece. So actually, I mean, if you, in terms of a friendship, any relationship, you should be spending quality time with your people, right? But building a web of healthy communication. So if you feel like you can't say this in any way and it will be received, then the communication is probably not healthy in that dynamic. So if the communication is not healthy in that dynamic, then there's no way that you can communicate how you want to be supported. If you feel like when you communicate that it's going to turn into this like negative conversation or this very selfish conversation, which then leads me to the last point is there has to be accountability on both sides. Like,
I agree.
which is why like I show appreciation first. I make sure that I show you and I'm explicitly showing you that I appreciate you and everything that you do. Shout out to Cinevize Media. You know what I'm saying? My bro Rashad. I tell him all the time, like, he's a better editor than me. I can learn, like, you do things that I don't do. But he's also a music video editor first, so he knows how to do a lot of that cool editing and stuff. I mean, I have the ability to do it, but I'm not a music video editor. I'm a storyteller. So my type of editing is completely different. I didn't have to say that, but I do, because I appreciate the craft and the time that he put in to perfect that. Like my boy Frank, shout out to Frank, Irate Media. This is the
Come through, shout outs.
Partner for the audio production studio. You know, he's fire at, you know, making websites and like that understanding the business model and everything. So like when we're talking about support and everything, I want to make sure that when we're talking about support systems and building that, I think we have to identify the who, so who we're asking to support, the what we're asking them to support, the how they're asking, or how we're asking them to support, the where in which we want them to support, who, what, when, where, the when. Did I say when already? I don't know. I'm trying to be all philosophical. Basically, communication got to be key. Like, that's really what it is. And then they have to have the ability to be accountable for what they're not doing. That's just what it is. Just like if they call you out on not supporting them and whatever it is that they're doing, you have to be accountable to say like, oh yeah, I wasn't supporting you, but you know, like, we really never had that conversation around it, because if I feel like I'm not being supported, then why would I support you when I know that I do support you? But the other piece to that, and we talked about this a little bit, is like, I know how much money you make for the most part, you know, roughly. So why would I expect you to support me monetarily with your money? So if I'm in a sense, right? So just playing devil's advocate and using everything that we're talking about, why would it be fair for me to say I want you to support me by spending money or buying me equipment? Or
equipment is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But you see that, right? So it's like, basically the reason why I said equipment is crazy, because that camera was $4,000, $4,200. But basically, the point that I'm getting at is, I think that we have to within our support systems, we should be very explicit in the who, what, when, where, how, and sometimes why. Is that what it is? Who, when, where, how? Sometimes why? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I went to school, and really identify like what is acceptable versus what is not acceptable, especially when we're asking for support. Because the other piece is, I'm gonna use me as an example, in a very extreme example, like I did for Cam.
Oh God!
Right. The other part is, I'm not successful. I've been doing this since 2000, podcasting. Released my first podcast in 2017. So since
and
2017.
Why aren't you successful?
When I say I'm not successful, I know I'm successful. But when I say I'm not successful, I'm just talking about if I'm being objective and I'm looking at the numbers for the amount of time that I was doing it, my numbers don't show that I've been doing this for, like, I was podcasting for like 2 full years before the pandemic hit. And we'll get to the why in a second. Me knowing or approximating how much you make on a month-to-month basis, right? Knowing that that's way more than the average person. Me expecting you, for example, like if I had merch, which merch is coming soon. I had merch before, merch comes soon, be on the lookout. To say like, I want you to buy like $100 of merch a month. What you gonna do with $100 of merch a month?
But see, me, that person that I am, I think that it also,
I feel like 100 was too much. Your tax bracket is too $100 for you is like $1.
Don't say
it's
that.
not a penny yet. It's not a penny yet. We getting there though.
But no, so the type of friend that I am, because we can talk about you. The type of friend that I am, I know how amazing everything that you like, how dope it is, like just what you do, how you do it, and just the content period. Like, you're really good at it. And so me, being the type of friend that I am, I always want my friends to win. So if there's a way that I can put you in a position to get that new equipment, I'm going to do it. Am I going to buy you that new equipment? Probably not.
What if I said I want you to do it? I don't need you to put me in position because I don't want to do that work. Because my mindset is you already making money, so why you not spending your money on me for my success?
That's being selfish.
I know, but some people think that way is what I'm getting at.
But I don't surround myself with people who think that way.
But you don't know if they don't tell you. It might be something that's
You trying to tell me something?
I'm not gonna use you like that. No, but I'm just saying, just to play devil's advocate for the conversation, is some people who don't support you because they feel like in the example that I used in terms of the example before the example that I just said. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it's like, why would I support you when you didn't support me? And that you didn't support me, let's say you are doing what you sharing your, somebody, because the other thing is like your Instagram doesn't have nearly as many followers as your TikTok, right? So you sharing my stuff on your Instagram would be like, why I got that many followers? I got more than followers. I think I genuinely have more followers than you on Instagram, I think. Right? So why would I ask you, why would I be okay with you sharing my content on your Instagram? You don't got no follow base over there. But then why I'm expecting you to share it on your business page because you got 77,000 followers on there, but you're like, nah, that's for my business stuff. So basically the point that I'm trying to make is, and I hope I'm making it, is there is a dynamic of people to say like your support is not enough because I know what you make and I see your follow base, but you're doing the bare minimum by clicking share on a platform where you only have 200 followers. You got more than 200 followers, but I'm just saying that. Does that make sense? And you're reluctant to share on your platform where you have almost 100K. And in my mind, sharing on the platform that you almost got 100K is more useful and beneficial to me and what I'm doing than you sharing to the 200 people that we all know. Does that make sense? So when we're talking about like those levels of support, I feel like the communication and the accountability piece is key. I'm not going to ask you to do something that you're not already doing. I want you to do it by yourself. And then we problem solve through how that support can be bigger and can be more beneficial. And some people just think that support is like, okay, well, you making $1 million a month. I need 10% of that. And it's like, just like, okay, I don't know. Did you watch the episode of Club Shay Shay with Dwayne Wade?
I don't even know what that is.
What? I sent you when Dwayne Wade was talking about the Gabrielle Union. Remember I sent you that clip?
Oh yeah. I watched that.
You watched it? Do you remember when he said it was up until Gabrielle Union came into his life where he was staying, like his homeboys was staying with him?
Crazy. I seen that clip. I thought you were saying like a different show.
No. Club Shay Shay is the podcast.
I know what it was called.
Yeah. That is what I'm talking about. People will leech on you and say they support you, but in all actuality, they're just looking to benefit from what you got going on. So if I know that you make $1 million a month and you want me to just share your stuff, okay. All right. So, can you send me like, can you buy this merch so I could, boom, 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 or can you promote this, or you know what I'm saying? Like the support is bare minimum for you, but their benefit is way more. So you see this with a lot of men, especially athletes and rappers. They bring an entourage of people who don't pour into their cup around with them. I think it's wild that Dwayne Wade had all the men staying in his house, and Gabrielle Union had to come in and say, "What they doing here?"
Sometimes men. This is the whole nother topic. I ain't trying to steer us in the wrong way, but men can be so oblivious.
Yeah,
they can be so oblivious. There's been multiple times where I won't even go that deep, but there's been men that I've been friends with who they just didn't see the problem. I think another thing too is like men don't see things as deeply as women do. So like,
And I think women sometimes see things a little bit too deeply.
all right now,
I'm just saying. That's a whole nother
but yeah,
conversation.
but that can also benefit you in a way, right? So like with him, he was basically saying like this woman came into his life and opened his eyes up to a lot of stuff that he didn't think was that deep.
But he felt that was supportive, that was supporting his success. That's why he kept him around.
Right. And then she made him realize how it's supporting you.
Correct.
Like, what are these people bringing to you that's helping you? And that's another thing with me. The more money I make and the more successful I am, I'm reevaluating those people that's around me, so that I won't have that problem to where I get to a position to where I'm making $1 million a month and I'm having multi-million-dollar years, and I'm supporting people just because we were friends since we were kids.
Right. And
like, how does that look?
Right. And that's exactly what I'm getting at. Like, at some point, we have to really separate our people from the people, right? I'm going to say that again. We have to separate our people from the people. Because the people, I go to fight for the people, but my people eat, right? My people eat with me. They sitting at the table. The people is going to benefit from the things that I'm creating, but they have to do their own, work to get to where I am, right? I can't bring everybody with me, but I'm bringing my
Definitely
people
can't.
with me. So basically, when we're talking about support, I think the biggest thing is creating that support system explicitly and not thinking or not basically not expecting for people to support us without us communicating and showing what that support looks like and that is possible. Because in our community, we do not learn how to do a lot of the things that we're doing. Like, you didn't learn from someone else how to be successful. You just stumbled across it on accident, and then you applied the things that you seen was what was working, right? So everybody can't say that they have that drive to do that. And everybody can't say that they can, they can maintain the type of success that you've maintained over time. So, and that speaks to you and your character and how you're built. So when we're having this conversation, I think what all of us can benefit from is creating explicit support systems to where we're teaching people how to support us, and then vice versa. We're learning how to support them, because what we don't want to do is say, oh, I'm going to support you no matter what. And then they start to expect things that's like, yeah, nah, I'm not. Like how you said. You literally said buying your equipment is crazy. Absolutely. I think it's crazy too. Because the amount of work and the amount of research that I put in, if I just expect you to buy me equipment and you buy me the wrong equipment, I'm going to be pissed off. Because there's so many other things that goes into like that process. So in the support, I need you to, if you're going to support me, I need you to make sure that you holding me accountable for not posting when I'm supposed to post, or not editing when I'm supposed to be editing, or something like that. Like that type of support is what's going to push me into the success that I should have had since 2017, right? You ask me why I'm not as successful as I should be, is because I be slacking, right? And well, when I was at podcasting every week, I wasn't slacking. But the difference then and now is I didn't put any effort into the marketing piece. Like, I would literally sit down, we would record, like we hitting the hour now. Like, we record for the hour and 15 minutes. I'll upload it. I'll let it upload. I'll promote it just on my Facebook, and then that's that. I'm not making no clips. I'm not using social media. Social media wasn't the powerhouse that it is now. But I wasn't trying to, learn Google AdSense. Like, Frank know all about Google AdSense. Frank be getting money off of Google every month from the podcast that he got going in here too. So it's like I'm learning from that too. Like, oh yeah, don't do here, don't do that. So basically, for me, as we kind of wrap on the show, the support thing is it's definitely subjective, right? It's definitely subjective. We support what we want to support and how we want to support. I think the other piece is we just have to be really explicit as to what that support may or may not look like and communicate that, and don't feel like you're telling somebody how to support you, but more so walking them through what makes sense as it pertains to support for you in particular.
And that's something I learned too. Like with one of my friends who's always on TikTok, like how I am, I told her like, okay, anytime you see me post, like if you can like it, you can share it, and then like when you share it, send it to me, and then copy to your clipboard. It'll boost my video. So I'll send my videos to like people close to me, and then they know.
That was a gem. You just said that like that was normal information. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so like
Dang.
it boosts your interaction. So I'm just like, even if you don't have time to watch my video, if it's 50 seconds, you ain't got that time, just let it play. Let it play a couple times. Share it to me. Send it to somebody you might know. Send it to me a couple times. It's going to boost my video because it's like, okay, people are interacting with it. And so I learned like, okay, they're not going to know unless I tell them. And so it's kind of like, you know, if I tell you and you still not supporting. Okay. But yeah, as far as TikTok, like that's how I learned how to like really crack it. That's all you gotta do.
You just that's crazy. And that's how you know people are successful, because they just happen to drop a gem that nobody like how okay. Anyways, what is your business? Where can they find your business and everything Luna Raven Organics?
Yep. So my business is Luna Raven Organics. That's our name on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, but we're more so on TikTok though. And yeah, our website is lunaravenorganics.com.
Okay, so I need you to do that again and look into that camera. Talk into that camera. Look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself right.
Hey y'all, this is Star. I am the owner of Luna Raven Organics, and you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Our name is Luna Raven Organics, and our website is www.lunaravenorganics.com.
This has been a show about support in our inner circles, but broadly in our community. And we just need to learn. We need to learn together, and that's really what building community is, right? Is coming together and really talking about having healthy conversation around, you know, what community is, what support is in the community, what we need to feel supported, like we matter, et cetera, et cetera. So go to y'all friend groups and y'all families or whatever the case, and make sure that y'all are explicitly having a conversation of what support means to you and how people could support you, because if you do not say it, you will not get it. What is the old saying? Oh yeah, closed mouths don't get fed. So in that, appreciate y'all for coming to the show, listening to the show. Bring another set of ears for next week's show, because this is, oh wow, I was about to say the old outro. Because this is Introspective Insight, the Black Wall Street podcast, and we out.
See you soon. Yeah. Come back next week. Yeah. Introspective Insight. Introspective Insight. Volume 2.